Yeah, I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes, call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love, still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no. Some injuries, mentally and physically. Studied them religiously so I don't repeat history. And people won't admit to me they don't want a victory bad enough to get a C. They'd rather just go leave it be. And this journey I've been on since 13, working hard and learning, never stopping searching. Yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me. I took action working, writing down these words. No, I'm not okay, I just wanna be something. I don't wanna be nothing, living all alone. No, I'm not alright, I'm just barely getting by. But I'll tell you I'm just fine, so you leave me alone. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday. What is it? July 27th. Man, good God. We're almost at the end of August, or end of July. We are at the end of July, but I'm okay with that because that means I'm closer to college football, and I'm excited because for those of you who know, I do love me some college football. Now, I'm going to share my screen here. I almost didn't make it in time. I got to do that. All right. What is going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to this weekend edition. I just realized for anyone that watches the video later, they're going to see the little surprise that I just shared on the screen there. Oh, man, life has been busy. Life has been chaotic, but you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, I guess. So how are you guys doing? Welcome to another weekend update. And you know what? I got to give a shout out to the Dying Breed community, my wonderful Patreon fans. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for all your support. We've got, of course, Warrior Bernard, Fighters Maxwell, Foster, Q, Gladiator Wilkie. We've got Soldiers Boslow, Unwired, and Little Panda Aiden. And of course, we've got Defenders LG, Jodan, Miss Aoife, and of course, Duck Commander Stephen Landry. So thanks so much to the Patreon community for all of your guys' support. I really appreciate that. And let's get into it, right? Let's go ahead and start talking about some book stuff. And also, I've got a nice surprise of something that I have been working on as well. So without any further ado, what are the book updates? Well, as of this morning, I started to do some writing into Golem Master because the last 3 days I've not gotten any writing in, but that is okay because Golem Master Book 2 is now at a grand total of 41,225 words. And I'm really excited with where the story's going. I'm okay with the pacing and the flow of everything. So it's going really well. I'm really excited. We're just now getting to the part where Pepper needs to upgrade his Golem because for those Patreon members who have read book one, you know that he's been competing in the KBVS club match where his golem is allowed to be basically 5 feet and under. Well, now that he's going into the regionals, he's allowed to have his golem up to 15 feet. So with that, I'm just getting into the part of book two where Pepper is doing all those crafting skills. He's about to start upgrading Mala and building him in even bigger, which I don't know. I'm excited about. I think that's going to be a great dynamic. And I don't know. That's part of the crafting side that I've really enjoyed diving into. Whoop. Oh, no. What happened? There we go. Happens, Geneva. Thanks for tuning in. All of a sudden, my screens went black and like I couldn't see shit. And then like Windows started popping up like, hey, we want to do this right now. Like, no, Windows. We're trying to do our stream update on shit. And we're trying to say hi to the wonderful Miss Geneva. How are you, my darling? Oh shit, what did I do? Yo, I'm hitting too many buttons right now. I need to stop drinking the caffeine. I have that effect on technology. Yes, you do. Oh my goodness. Like I was backing out of stuff. I was like, buttons are being smashed. We're off to a tremendous, we're like the Titanic, just charging straight ahead for this iceberg on this weekend stream update. Now I've got to like share my screen again, but you guys are going to see the surprise. I can't be doing that shit. Effect. This is why we have editors. Amen to that, and how much we love them. That's for damn sure. But yeah, so anyways, where was I? I was talking about Golem Master 2. So yeah, so Pepper is just about to like start upgrading Mala, getting him prepared for the regional invitation matchup, which I'm super excited about. I'll never let go of Jack. Yeah, right? Absolutely. Love Jack. And so so it's been really great, really fun to play with this new dynamic of the story. And what's also really great is for those of you who have read Golem Master 2 in the Patreon, like, where are we at now? You guys know that he's got roommates now. And so this whole dynamic of the roommate stuff has been really fun to write. This piece that everyone can relate to, I think, if you've ever gone to college, if you've ever gone on a trip to Europe and had to share, you know, your living quarters with someone else or whatever, like it's just been a really fun place to explore because I haven't touched anything like that really in all of my previous work. So it's been really fun to do that. And yeah, so 41,000 words into Golem Master Book 2. Book 1 is still slated to go to editing at the end of August. This brings, oh my goodness, it's Mr. Richie Stevens. Hello. Greetings, Professor Lombardi. And he's yelling at me already. Comes in yelling and screaming. That's the way we like our Richie, though. Oh, Richie, I don't know if you realize this. I don't know if you picked up on it. I don't know when I talked about it. But there's you're not only mentioned, you not only have a character as the principal of Status Academy, but the Matt Dinneman Band may also make an appearance in Golem Master Book 2 and playing their hit song, Richie's Gonna Learn, which is literally Scotty Doesn't Know, but with new lyrics of Richie's Gonna Learn that we're going to send him all the feet pics. Like I literally wrote all the lyrics for the main part that's going to be there. So you're welcome. It was super fun to write. I'll at least tell you that much. So yeah, Richie's gonna learn that all my fans are gonna send him feet pics in his DMs. He says, please, no, but it really means yes. And this is how we are. Richie's gonna know. Oh, Richie's gonna learn. Yeah, exactly. Richie's gonna learn. Don't fuck with the Matt Dinneman Band. That's for sure. Anyways, like I said, it was really fun to write. And it's coming up. Richie's gonna make some cash. Yeah, see, dude, that's all you have to do is just repurpose them, sell them on feetpicsonly.com. Exactly. See, now you see the silver lining to it all. That's what we're here for. So, oh, I just realized, okay, I'm glad Geneva's in here. I'm glad that we have Miss Geneva in here because of what we'll talk about, the surprise that's coming up. And Rachel Lee Kirk, the Chaos Gremlin. What's up? What's up? Oh, I was not prepared. Okay. Okay, let's event coordinator. Coordination change. Swap out your active with another. Okay, so I got a big surprise. We've talked about it before in one or two of the weekend updates, but I actually have started to let my brain play with this idea. So I'm really excited, and I'll share it with you guys here in a little bit. She's mean to me. Whatever. Okay, so yes, Golem Master 2 is going really well. This yearly writing update is at 325,596 words. But of course, as you guys know, with last weekend update, I am now at over 1 million words in my writing journey. So that means I am at 1,008,618 words, you guys. Oh, I'm so happy. Such a huge accomplishment. So yeah, so that's been really fun to hit that mark. But of course, it's like, what are you going to do when you hit that mark? You're going to keep going for the next one. Like, now I got to get to 2 million because that's just a logical thing. Like, you just go until you die. It's that simple. You just go and then you die. So anyways, yes, Golem Master 2 is going really, really well. Thank you, darling. Huge congrats on 1 million words. That's crazy. What was the 1,000,000th word? I'm just curious. Dude, I don't even know. I guess I would have to go back and delete 8,618 words to find out what the 1,000,000th word was. But what we do know, what I can confirm, is since I am writing Golem Master 2, the word at least was not fuck. Which I'm kind of sad about because I definitely use that word a lot in my other series. So there's that at least. We at least know that. Aw, thank you. It was not but. I'm a damn delight. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, so you guys, Golem Master 2 is going really well. We're at 41,000 words into the story. Honestly, I easily see Golem Master Book 2 being the same size as Book 1, which was like, what, 154,000 words? If not, it may even be larger because I'm just really enjoying going. Oh, that's another one I forgot. I need to add John A. Douglas as a card. I'll just throw that little hint out there of what the surprise is. What was that? Gladiator assist. You know what? No, we'll have it find 2. Okay. Okay, so with that being said, Book 2, I really think is going to be the same size as Book 1, if not a little bit larger, because I'm really enjoying being with the more different characters. And what is interesting is, how I've done these plot points. You're allowed to move the plot points around, right? And it really helps you out as you plotted out the story. You can be like, oh, I'm really excited about this. I'm going to shift this. As long as I keep my plot points in mind, it will help me maintain the overall trajectory of the main story, right? But what I've really come to enjoy is allowing my brain to playfully continue to dive into like further of those certain plot points as they come up. And what I mean by that is, like, I've really wanted to, in Book 2, transition a little bit away from the Pokemon and more into the Pacific Rim world of these 2 IPs that I've blended together. And with that, like, Pepper experiences or sees a major battle take place with kind of these Jaeger-like mech warriors against some of the demons. And so I've really enjoyed playing with this. And it allows me to be like, okay, when I get to this plot point, I'm really going to dive further into this. So you get a lot of that built up within this world as well. And that's where I think it's really allowing me to have a lot more room within Book 2 to explore all these different things. And of course, all the while, I'm trying to keep the comedy in there, but also keep the seriousness. Chapter 7 was a very heavy chapter for those of you who have read on Patreon. It starts out really lighthearted. It starts out very funny, very comical, and then it gets very deep. So that's where I really wanted to make sure when I released it on Patreon, chapter 7 was the very first one, and I gave some chapters for readers to like really kind of decompress and absorb like the hardships. I didn't want to end my chapter release on chapter 7 and then have like this wait period. Emmanuel Quiones, the big Q, coming in saying hello. What's up, dude? How's everyone doing? There you go, guys. Jump into the chat. We're happy to see Q back with us, man. It's been too long. Demons, what kind of cult did I walk into? What up, JD Glasscock? So yeah, you guys, it's been really fun to explore this other side of the world while bringing all of it in together. So that's where I just really think Golem Master Book 2 is going to be a really fun ride. I'm really excited. And again, like what the initial inspiration was for this part of book 2 was literally in like chapter 2 of the story. And so these 40,000 words are literally added in from everything that I had already planned out. And so it's just, I'm really happy and excited that adapting to this writing style for the planning and discovery phases has allowed me to just grow the world building, I guess you could say, or the dialogue of it all. Hail, Mr. Lombardi, the most amazing person ever. Have a ducking good time today and keep smiling. Well, thank you, Wolfie. I appreciate that. JD, Mr. Amazon bestseller in the house, you guys. 3 category bestseller for like 2 months, 3 months in a row now, dude. Just crushing it out there. Book 2 is at 40,000. I'm still at 66,000 in book 2 on Nocturne. That's awesome, dude. I'm in the process of moving back to the States. I'm going to start read the series tonight, dude. That's awesome, man. I'm excited. I'm excited, dude, because you have all of book 1 now to explore. That'll be awesome, dude. So, okay, so yes, Golem Master Book 2. It's going really well, you guys. I'm having a lot of fun adding in these new characters. One of the differences, though, that I will say from book 1 to book 2 is book 1, I had a lot of my author friends starting out as gladiators, some of them, right? Like we have Shammy Stovall as a gladiator. We have Stephen Landry. We have Kevin Sinclair, Lars Machmuller, Demi. I can't say Demi's last name. So we have a lot. Timo Burnham, who comes onto the stream pretty much every week for a little bit. So all of these different authors I made as gladiators, but then there were other authors that I did not have as gladiators, aka JD Glasscock, Rachel Neekirk, Nick Boslow, KT Hannah, Ryan Maxwell. So like a Jez's characters in book 2, I think you'll find it a little funny. Aaron Michael Ritchie, Nathan Amy. A lot of those guys are in the book, but they're not as gladiators. And so what I did was, as I kind of reflected back after I wrote book 1, I didn't want the gladiators to necessarily be authors, because I didn't want it to be like I had Shammy Stovall beat Stephen Landry, and then I had Lars and Demi have a draw, right? I have these different things. I guess these are all spoilers, I guess. My bad. Spoilers, mute me. My mouth is just going to keep rambling. I have all these different matches, and I didn't want there to be like any like, oh man, I wish I would have won over this person, or does this translate to my writing or whatnot? And like, that wasn't at all what I had intended. So what I decided to switch up in book 2 was, if there were any new gladiators that I added, they're either going to be fictitious characters, or I was going to make gladiators out of the supporting staff that help all of us in this genre, aka I want to say it's Derek Atwater. I know him better as Zeckler. Really love Zeckler. The dude is just such a huge support of the genre, and just an avid reader. So I was like, you know what? I want to make him a gladiator and let him win some gladiator matches and have fun. As we know, God, why is his name evading me? Who's our group moderator for the Lit RPG? Is it Evan Durham? Oh, Ryan DeBruin. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like his character started out as this sensei of like wisdom, and then it got really locker room jokish. And so I am planning to bring that back to his original roots of like supporting Evan Durham. Thank you. So yeah, so like Evan Durham, I made as a gladiator, but he is also the antagonist in book 2. And thankfully I did check with him first. I was like, bro, are you okay with being kind of a bad guy, somewhat kind of a dick in book 2? And he said, you know what? I'm okay with it. Don't worry. So we will have a special note at the beginning of book 2, just saying, hey, FYI, Evan is awesome. He is not a dick. And he did say I could use him as a bad guy. So though you may hate him in book 2, don't in real life, because he is awesome. So anyways, I wanted the supporting cast to have a more active role within the Golem League gladiator matches. And so if there were new authors that I'm going to add, they're just going to be more of the side characters within the story. But it's just so much fun because I love planting these little Easter eggs, aka the Matt Dinman Band, aka Richie's Gonna Learn, aka Aaron Michael Ritchie and his bookstore, all these different things. Like, it's just been so much fun to adapt and grow in. So with that being said, we have to meet up for a con. Heck yeah, dude. So Jordan Con 2025. That is the next convention I am planning to be at. Just because of leave, finances, all that stuff. Like, I can only basically do one con per year with my schedule. So that's where I keep telling everyone, Jordan Con in 2025. That is the one convention I will at least try to commit to right now. And I have been planning on. So for those of you who are wanting to do a convention, we're going to make Jordan Con 2025 lit as fuck, yo. Okay. So as you guys know, the narration side is kind of in the works. I've already gotten one submission from a narrator. He did amazing. He did incredible. I am so happy that, one, I reached out to him, and that, two, that he provided it, because it was amazing. We're still waiting on our next one. Lit RPG Con in Denver 2025. It has to be at a castle, Geneva. It has to be at a castle. Pretty sure there are no castles in Denver. I'm just saying. Still wish you the best, Q, on finishing Dying Breed. I'm totally looking forward to it. Yes, you have a fan who is waiting on your Dying Breed book, bro. Okay, so the narrator side is going on. That's happening. Editing is happening. We are still waiting on the Dying Breed Injustice audiobook that is still in the works. Jodan is still working on Bloodbath audiobook. Book 3 of Bloodbath, which is Slaughterhouse. I should be getting back from the formatter soon. So once I get that in, I will get my author copies ordered and then get them out to my Patreon members in those tiers. And now, okay, I just can't hold my excitement, you guys. I'm excited about this. So if you guys remember, last week, we were having this discussion about a thing called a trading card game. And how a trading card game would look like. And what it would be like. Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Anyways, we have brought up a trading card game in the past. And with that being said, I mean, I've talked about board games. Lucas and I have started to design a board game because I wanted to do a board game for Pentagoth and the Dying Breed. I've wanted to do graphic novels, especially a graphic novel for Bloodbath and even possibly Golem Master. But with that being said, this whole idea of a trading card game has come up before. And I have started to try to think of how would a trading card game for Golem Master work? How would the mechanics work? And actually, I briefly mentioned or had this discussion with John Stovall, husband of Shammy. And when I pitched him, like, here's my current idea of how the mechanics would work, he was like, dude, this could really work, and it could really work well. So here is, I literally developed these this morning, like 10 minutes before I did the stream. So here's what I currently have. Now, granted, the back of the card is just like there for reference, but you have your golems that are going to be like what you use, right, in combat. And so I'm like, okay, we have the golems. You would then put like your golem materials onto them. So, you know, you could have a wood, you could have clay, you could have granite, you could have metal, you could have even the demonic metals that we've mentioned before. And so I'm trying to come up with some concept cards. So here's Mala, here's Warby. And that's where the golem itself doesn't necessarily have any attacks or abilities besides like a standard punch or a standard kick, right? Because like, okay, I have my Mala out, Brandon's got his Warby, I'm going to punch him physically, and that might take out like 5 health, right? It might hit him for 5 health or 10 health, whatever it is. But the other part of it is it's mostly the runes that are really where you base your attack off of. And so with that, it's really setting up your deck with the runes, powering them up, and hitting your opponent with those powered attacks. So I am also working on my Gladiator Assist cards, where you have Pepper, where it's like draw 3 cards. If your opponent already has a victory point, play an additional energy card and Golem material card if they're already in your hand. Safety Inspector Bill coming in with a Gladiator Assist of the rune your opponent has just played was found to be unsafe for the Golem League. That rune is now banished from this game and cannot be pulled from the discard pile. So what was really fun is, and I still have to get with the people, with the authors that are in Golem Master Book 1 and Book 2, like you guys have not yet met Michael Head's character or my buddy Jay Pritchard's character. So with that being said, like I need to make sure these authors, these legitimate people are okay with, hey, are you okay with your person being a character within a trading card game as well? But like KT Hannah's character, her ability would be like search your deck for any golem material, immediately place it on your golem in play, remove up to 50 health point damage tokens off of your active golem, remove any negative effects your golem may be affected by. And like that card, her card is super OP. Like it's just super overpowered, because if you have like a demonic metal within your deck that gives you like 500 health points, you immediately play her down, go get that material, add it to your golem, remove damage, and remove any negative effects. Like it's a super OP card, but that's how I see her character. For those of you who have read Golem Master Book 1, you know how important her character is to Pepper. Like she is a huge part of Pepper's life. And so that's where I was like, that would be a really cool thing. Michael Head, his is search your discard pile and select up to 4 energy cards. Immediately place 2 onto a rune of your choosing. Place the other 2 in your hand. And that's all based off how his character is. We've got James Hunter, Seth Ring. I'm trying to figure out how I can put Rhino into it. But with Geneva jumping into the chat, I realized I was like, oh, here's Geneva's card. And for those of you who know, Geneva has a character in the game or in the book as well. But I was like, here's an easy card for Geneva to have. And then here is John A. Douglas. I totally forgot how I wanted to have him, but I have a Gladiator card for him. So I'm already starting to build the pieces of the card game of like how it would work, the mechanics, but it's really how do I bring in these really cool people that are added to the story, and how do we let them have some fun and make the game even more interactive? So Again, it's very much built off of the Pokemon trading card game mechanics, but I have also thought of ways of like, how can I add a D20 dice, right? So as you guys know, like, let's just say we power up our rune, like a flame cannon rune, and we put like 4 energy cards on it. Like we would need 3 energy cards. Okay, so this is me brainstorming. But like, let's say we put the flame cannon rune down on our active rune slots. If I put 1 energy card on that flame cannon, it's worth 10 damage. If I put 2 on it, it then goes to 20 damage. If I put 3 on it, it goes up to 50 damage. If I put 4 on it, it goes up to 100 damage, right? So you can see, like, the more energy I flow into that rune attack, the more damage it'll do to my opponent. But if I get 4 energy cards on that rune, I then roll a d20 dice. If I get a 17, 18, 19, or 20 on my dice roll, it's a critical hit, and it does twice the amount of damage. So then, like, James Hunter's card, for you guys that know his character in book 1, being a guild commander, he has inspired your combative fighting techniques and skills. All critical rolls can hit at a 12 or higher on your D20. So, like, that's a huge OP bonus right there. But that's where I'm like, okay, this is really fun, to where you can have your runes and you can hit someone physically if you're not finding the rune that you need and you don't have the gladiator assistance cards to go get the rune you need. Then you can at least do this, but you can slowly power up. And so that's where, yeah, I can hit you with a flame cannon, but if I can power it up quick, I can hit you hard. And so that's where I'm just like really having fun playing with it. So yes, as I am writing, my brain is nonstop trying to figure out how this card game would work in the mechanic side. So I'm slowly building that out as I go. But there's a very good chance that we could have this thing pretty solid. And the other cool thing is, what I'm thinking of doing is just like printing out some of these cards on paper and just putting them in the card sheaths, the card protector things, and just doing a couple test runs. And then we can send them out to some of our people. Like I know Brandon and Wolfie would totally play this. I know Stephen Landry and Tori would totally play this. So we could find a few people and I can send them out to play test and try out. And then if we feel like the mechanics really works, then we can go forward and maybe do a Kickstarter, maybe do something, but really try to get the game going while the books are being released, while we're doing narration. Why not? Like, fuck it. I don't know. I don't have anything else to do with my life besides create cool, epic shit. So anyways, that's where we're at, you guys. That is the huge surprise for you guys. Rachel coming in. That is cool as fuck. Brandon is just over the moon. Athos, the honey badger. We should probably bring Athos, the honey badger, in. Count me in the Kickstarter. I enlist. Mark this moment as epic. Miss Geneva coming in. Nice. Yeah. So that's where I'm just super excited, you guys. So that's where I'm just trying to think. And that's what I love too, is like, if you guys saw on the first one, like, you know, Trading Card Game Season 1, that's kind of my thought too, is just how the Golem League has its different seasons. I'll come up with some different seasons as well for, we can come up with different seasons for the card game. Like, as we think of new golems to add, like, for those of you who know, on the Patreon, there's an epic gladiator battle that takes place to start off the Pantheon League Season 11. And I thought that was really cool. So, I mean, like, we could just create that golem and just draw up that golem. So, anyways, let's see here. What do we have going on? What's this? So yeah, you guys, it's been fun to, you know what? I'm thinking maybe I should just have base health points for the golems, right? And maybe that'd be pretty cool. Like, like Warby, since he's a flying golem, he can I don't know, you roll a d20, and if you get a 1 to 4, then, or maybe a 1 to 5. If you roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, he evades your attack. Whereas with Mala, he's got psionic shielding, so he can not be affected. Or if you roll a d20 and you get 11 through 20, all psionic attack, that psionic attack is erased. So it definitely allows you like to have a little bit uniqueness to each golem. I kind of like that idea. That'd be pretty fun. And then I have been thinking too, as you guys know, there are mechs within the Golem League. So you can have missiles and rockets and explosives and machine guns and stuff, laser cannons even. And so I've been thinking about that too, of like, well, I guess you could do that, and you would have to add ammo to your deck, or you would just add it in as like, you would have to power it with your energy cards, just like a rune. And then from there, you could fire off 4 rockets for this many damage. That's what I'm thinking, at least. So anyways, but that would be pretty cool too, right? Like, we got to have our mechs in there as well, along with all of our golems. So evolutions. I haven't been thinking about evolutions, and the only reason is because that it doesn't really make sense within the golems, because you've already had to build your golems. But there is a part of that with like adding the golem material to add your health points. So as far as right now, I have, ooh, dude, you know what though, bro? You just did give me a good idea. Dude, this is a brilliant idea for like a season 2 evolution, where it's not really the golem evolving. It's not the golem evolving, but it's the golem merging with another one to create a new level of golem while in combat. That would be pretty cool. We'll have to think about that. Yeah, exactly. Combining golems. I feel like, though, you'd have to do it on your bench, not in active play, because if you can only have one golem out at a time and you want to combine golems, you have to do it on the bench in like a reserve status, and then you would have to bring them, use Geneva's card and bring them into the forefront, bring them into battle. That's what I'm thinking. Let's put this off to this side. But that's, so here's the hard part with that one, Brandon, is we would have to develop which golems could do that and draw up the combined golem card that would overlay on top of that. That's what I'm thinking. Because you'd have to have both of those golems on your bench, and then you have to use a combined effect, like a combined rune. You'd have to power up that rune. Once that powers up, you would then have to put a card over top of them that would allow that to work. But then you would just double up your health. That would be really cool. So yeah, so a combined evolution season 2 deck or season 2 thing, that would be really fun. Like a cyborg pirate or a pirate ninja. What's up? Yeah. Dude, that'd be really cool. I'm excited, man. Let me type in more of this note. Golems that can be combined to form new golems. You have 2 golems on your bench. You then add a which together. Okay. I wrote my note, dude. Wrap text. So it's all there. Make sure I save this. If Golem is destroyed, resurrecting with a minor Golem. I don't know. I mean, that's where I just have victory points. So, like, I do plan on, like, I think right now I only have 5. Like, if you get 5 victory points, you win the game. But you could have multiple golems, I guess. At first, I was like, oh, I only want there to be 4 golems, but that doesn't make sense in the trading card game side of things. So, yeah, I don't know. It definitely, I mean, I guess you could pull a golem from the discard pile, but that doesn't seem realistic with the world itself, with the way that the story plays out. But if you do have a restoration rune, that would, if you did power it, if you powered up your restoration rune, that would allow you to restore the golem in the discard pile and bring them back to life. That would work. Okay, see, look at this. Restoration rune, once it is powered up high enough, it will allow you to pull a golem back from your discard pile. Wrap text. There we go. See, look at us coming up with new things from the new things to add into the card game. It's pretty dope. I like it. And we'll definitely, for Brandon, we'll definitely have to have a Panda Cakes golem for you. So, oh, I totally forgot. I also got some stuff. I got some stuff this week. So I was doing, where am I? There we go. I was doing some grocery shopping in Walmart. And though I have not seen the movie, and I don't really plan on seeing the movie like anytime soon, I am not in a huge desire to go out and see it right away. But Walmart did have these 2 beautiful little things. So I was like, you know what? I need to add to my little office cubicle. So now I have me a little Wolverine and a little Deadpool to put on there. Which, like, I loved Wolverine's character in the cartoon when I was growing up and watching that as a kid. I never liked Hugh Jackman's portrayal of Wolverine. I never liked it. I wish they would just let that dude retire and actually bring in a new actor who can do Wolverine. I do like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, but I just hate. I did not like Deadpool 2. I thought Deadpool 2 could have been so much better. So yeah, so that's where I'm like, I'm not in a big rush to see the movie, but I was like, there you go. And I don't like the fact that you have a rated R movie and yet kids think it, or parents think it's okay to take their 5-year-olds to see fucking Deadpool because, you know, that's what they're into and their kids want to be into. And it's like, you know what? Boundaries, people, boundaries. Anyways, redonkulousness. So those are all the updates, you guys. Working on a card game, working on Golem Master 2, working on audiobooks, working on all types of things. Rachel, the movie is great. Had such a blast. Story doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's hilarious. Dialogue is great. This Wolverine is even more angry than the usual X-Men one. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Russell Crowe had first shot. He recommended Hugh for Wolverine. Look, I'm not I'm not saying Hugh Jackman was bad for Wolverine when he started it 20 years ago. All I'm saying is I didn't like the way that they had him portray the character, and he's now 60. Like, move on, you guys. He is supposed to have like regenerative abilities to where he doesn't age or whatever. Like, that's how he was able to forego the process of becoming Wolverine, right? Like, allegedly. Because like he was in the Civil War, he was in all these other things. Like, he's 60 now. Just move on with new actors. And we've done it in Spider-Man because, you know, Sony was, I don't know, a garbage dump. But at the same time, I love all three different Spider-Men because they all hit different notes of Spider-Man's character and everything. So I can at least enjoy those things, but I'm like, bro, move on, dude, move on. Just move on. That's all I'm asking. Never letting Hugh Jackman till he is 90. Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. Anyways, we got way sidetracked there. What else do we have going on? I'm trying to think. I've been watching House of Dragon. That's been going really well. Holy shit. That's been unique and interesting. But it's okay. We have Lord of the Rings, The Ring of Power Season 2 coming up, which, here's the thing, you guys. Like, I know that show got a lot of hate, but I'm like, it was at least semi-enjoyable for me, so I will definitely watch the second season because I definitely love the way they portrayed orcs in that. So I'll watch season 2 of that. Still waiting on Stranger Things. Still waiting on Arcane. Those are going to be amazing. Yeah. So there's some good stuff. We have the Lord of the Rings anime movie coming up. Yes, that as well, which I'm super excited about. That's coming out in December. Yep. So there's definitely some great shows coming out that I'm excited for. I'm looking forward to. Okay, let me see here. I've got to find I'm trying to find, there's one or two motivational videos I want to share with you guys. Okay, you know, we'll just share one or two of these. So this was one that I really liked. Decide to take it seriously and stop making excuses is the moment your life changes. And that was something that I know for myself when it came to writing. That was definitely a huge stepping stone because when I started writing The Dying Breed Book 1, it took me 6 months to write Book 1 because I was like, oh, you know, I'll write a little bit here. I'll write a little bit there. And I would just jump into the manuscript and do little bits at a time. And I didn't take it seriously per se because like I didn't believe in myself, right? I didn't see this potential within myself. And then once I stopped making those excuses, that was the moment where life really changed because I started to devote all of my time, energy, and effort towards this pursuit of writing, towards creating these stories. And that's where along the journey, you start to develop your skills. And so that's where I was like, when this hit me last week, you know, the moment you decide to take it seriously and stop making excuses is the moment your life changes. That's where I was like, dude, I really needed that 2 years ago when I started this journey. This one as well. As long as you're trying to do better, better is going to come. And I think because of the way society is and the way culture is and the way technology pushes us to be faster, we forget that processes of growth are slow. and they're very slow, and they take time, and they don't move at the speed of everything else. But as long as we're trying to do better, better is going to come. And it doesn't mean that it's going to come tomorrow. It doesn't mean that it's going to come next week, next month, next year. But it is going to come if you stay committed to the process. So I loved that. It always was about focus, following one course until success to turn your dreams into reality. And I remember, when I found this, it's always about your focus. You're following one course until success. What is your focus? And at that, when I found it, it really pushed me back to basic military training, right? What is your focus? To finish today. What is your focus? To finish tomorrow. And then as you went through basic training, starting to see how you can change your focus over time. But it was the whole thing of like, you don't try to hit 40 different goals. It's like, just focus on the one. What is the one goal? And you're going to follow on that course until you hit success. And granted, you're going to have hardships and struggles and trials and tribulations along the way. But if you stay focused on it, you're going to find success. What was really awesome was I found this post, and then I watched the episode of the toys that built America, or the toys that shaped the world, whatever. It's on the History Channel. And that episode was on Nintendo, but it was also specifically on Pokemon. And what I found incredible, and I tried to even search YouTube for details about this story further. I couldn't find anything on YouTube right away, so I stopped looking. But in the episode, it talked about the creators of Pokemon. It talked about how they struggled for 4 years to build the Pokemon video game. They were working at it for 4 years, and Nintendo basically told them, we'll bring it on board for Game Boy, but you have to fund yourselves. You have to build this yourselves. We're not going to give you any money. And so the creator of Pokemon was so focused on building this that it took him 4 years. The other part about that was his team entirely quitting on him. The people that started the company with him to build Pokemon, they all walked out on him and in 4 years and was like, yeah, no, we're done with this. We're tired of struggling to build this thing. Then, not only that, he taught himself how to write and how to continue to work on building the game. But then his computer crashed, or their computer crashed. They lost everything. After 4 years of struggling, they lost everything, or at least he thought. So the fact was he wasn't that good of a programmer. He didn't really know any of the code because he didn't know English. So he taught himself English to then teach himself the computer code needed to finish the game. He stayed focused. He was following one course until he got success. And now that franchise, that intellectual property, is a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar property. But he didn't give up because he knew, I'm going to continue down this path.
Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do. That's it. And that's discipline. It's not motivation. If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do. That's the way it works. Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do. That's it. And that's discipline. It's not motivation. If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do. That's the way it works. Motivation is a feeling.
Perfectionism is a nice way to hide from shipping at a pace necessary to find what works. You need to work out how to be good at the thing that you're trying to do. And you don't learn that by trying to be perfect. You learn that by being good enough and delivering something to the market or to an audience or to whoever it is that you're trying to reach. Perfectionism is a nice way to hide from shipping at a pace necessary to find what works. You need to work out how to be good at the thing that you're trying to do. And you don't learn that by trying to be perfect. You learn that by being good enough and delivering something to the market or to an audience or to whoever it is that you're trying to reach.
So I love that, because as you guys know, those of you who are authors who have published, your story is never going to be perfect. Your writing is never going to be perfect, but you're never going to get there unless you take the chance and risk, right? Like, you've got to continue to grow. You've got to continue to push yourself. And so I just love that. Once you stop trying to be perfect and just accept the fact that you're going to have flaws along the way, and the only way to do that is just develop them over time, life gets so much easier. Your skills, your craft gets so much easier to accept, knowing that there's only one way to get better with it.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received, and why?
Contemplate the price you pay for inaction. So I think a lot of the time we presume that inaction has no cost, but it does. Inaction does have a cost, because your attention is the most important thing that you have. And it's not time. People think that time is the most important resource you have in life. It's not. It's attention, because you can spend your time in ways where your attention is captured such that you didn't enjoy the time or realize the time has passed. So contemplate the price that you pay for inaction. It's a justification for you doing things sooner rather than later and committing.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received, and why?
Contemplate the price you pay for inaction. So I think a lot of the time we presume that inaction has no cost, but it does. Inaction does have a cost, because your attention is the most important thing that you have. And it's not time. People think that time is the most important resource you have in life. It's not. It's attention, because you can spend your time in ways where your attention is captured such that you didn't enjoy the time or realize the time has passed. So contemplate the price that you pay for inaction. It's a justification for you doing things sooner rather than later and committing.
Rachel, I feel that there's so much I'd change about book one, but I wouldn't have had that knowledge if it wasn't published. Book two is much better because I learned. Exactly. That's exactly it. And that's where, for artists, for authors, for creators, I can't stand book one of The Dying Breed. I hate it, because now I have 1 million words of experience under my belt. My writing now is so much better than it was back then. And I wish I could go back in time and change all those things and just make all of the flow better, the character dynamic better, the world better. But I'm still moving forward. And yet I would never have learned that, like you said, if I hadn't published and moved forward. So yeah, 100%. And then inaction, right? There's a cost of inaction. There's a cost of like, oh, well, I'm just not there yet, so I'm just going to wait until I do that. You're never going to get there unless you do. So you got to keep writing. I got to run, but thrilled about the trading card game and about the 1 million words. Keep at it. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Love you bunches, and I cannot wait to hang out with you. JordanCon 2025. We're doing it. And then right now, I'm actually thinking of doing an Ireland trip in 2026. So try not to be in Belgium or Germany or Switzerland or wherever else you go travel. Just make sure you're in Ireland in 2026 so that we can come link up and hang out.
So I had made the decision that I would either die or I would succeed. And so I didn't know when it would happen. I just figured if I continued. So So if there's one thing for the audience, if anyone who's going through it right now, like one of the thing that I would, the refrain, the repeated message that I had to myself over and over again was, I cannot lose if I do not quit. And so that was under my control. And when I would talk about like controlling the controllable, like I could choose not to quit. And so if I could just have that, then it meant like, it was like this tiny little thing is like, if I don't quit, I didn't lose. So I had made the decision that I would either die or I would succeed. And so I didn't know when it would happen. I just figured if I continued. So so if there's one thing for the audience, if anyone who's going through it right now, like one of the thing that I would, the refrain, the repeated message that I had to myself over and over again was, I cannot lose if I do not quit. And so that was under my control. And when I would talk about like controlling the controllable, like I could choose not to quit. And so if I could just have that, then it meant like, it was like this tiny little thing is like, if I don't quit, I didn't lose. So I had made the decision that I would.
There you go, guys. There you go. I love it. I think that's just such a perfect way to end out this week's stream, man. Like, it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm not saying that whatever you're going to devote your time to, you're going to have to sacrifice something else. That's just a part of the reality. What are you going to sacrifice? There's a woman who I work with. She's in a different section of the building. And she came up to my section and we started a conversation. Super lovely. Absolutely adore her. She's wonderful. And something was said. And it moved on to the fact that I write books. And she's like, oh my gosh, you could see like this sparkle come in her eyes. This sparkle light up. Big Lucas coming into the chat. What's up, my dude? The sparkle was in her eyes. She kind of lit up. She's like, I never knew this about you. I was like, I know, because I don't really like publicize it at work that I write books. I mean, some people know, some people don't. Many people don't. But then she said, I've always wanted to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book. And she came up with one or two excuses. But that's where I'm like, I'm going to bug her about it. Like, hey, there's actually two women in where I work who have both said they want to write books. So now I'm just like going to bug them. But one of her things is like, I don't know, maybe when I grow up, and she's a little bit older than me, but it's like, there's never a perfect time than right now. There's never going to be a perfect time in life where everything lines up and everything is in place and everything is the perfect time and everything is there that you need. You're just going to have to make it happen. Just like a parent, are you ever prepared for when your child arrives into the world? No, you are never prepared. It's never going to be when timing is excellent or you have all the resources. Like, it's just going to happen. And then you just deal with it and you learn as you grow. And so it's the same thing with writing. Like, there's never the perfect circumstances. There's never the perfect situation. You just have to say, focused, I am following on this course. I am devoting this energy and effort. I'm going to do this because this is a promise I am making to me, myself, no one else. I think there's times when people are in doubt and they make these promises to friends, hoping that the pressure or the friends are going to hold them accountable. But at the end of the day, it's only going to be you that's holding you accountable to this path. And so that's where I'm just super curious about, like, how can I try to encourage this person to start this journey so that she can accomplish this life dream of hers. Like, what's interesting too, for me, there's people that say, oh, this has been my dream to accomplish. I've never had a dream about being a published author. When I was a kid, I never dreamt of I just want to write a book and publish it and be super successful and blah, blah, blah. No, my dream was originally to be a Detroit Lions football player and play for the University of Michigan. That clearly never happened. And then to be G.I. Joe. And I got to do that in the Air Force. Those were my dreams being a kid. I got to do 50% of my dreams. Everything after that, I've been like, well, this would be really cool. Let's do it. And I just go do it. I would really enjoy being a photographer. I went out, I took photos, I became a published photographer. Wasn't like a big publication, but it was technically a publication. I want to make myself a little movie. I self-published a documentary of my friend who was the race car driver for the group that published my photo, right? And actually, I've also had my photos published in the Air Force. But anyways, like I did those things. It's like, well, this would be cool. I've made music and songs digitally, and they're on YouTube. Like, well, this is a really cool beat. I wonder if I can do this. That's cool. I did it. So now I'm like, you know what? It would be cool to write some books. I'm going to write books. It's never been a dream, but it's one of those things where you start to dream, the more you start to go down this path. The more of like, I now want to make this better. I now want to grow in this. And that's where I've just, you know what? I'm going to stay committed to myself, stay committed to the dream of that I have as I go down this path. I guess that's a little bit of a contradiction statement, but it's never going to be perfect timing, you guys. You just got to make it happen. Rachel R.A. Cooper, the one and only. How are you doing, my dear? If you want something done, get it done now. Yes. Yes, this woman knows, you guys. Super awesome author over here. Jumping into the chat. If you want something done, get it done now. Stop waiting. If you want to rob the bank, go rob the bank. Just don't say I told you to do so, because I don't want to be held criminally liable for your actions. Yes. There are some things in life that can pass you by. Lucas coming in. Bet. There are some things in life that you will miss out on. Rob a bank. TJ says so. I'm never going to be a professional athlete in football. I could still try to be a professional athlete in a different sport, right? Age, limitations, things like that. But at the same time, in today's world, I do not foresee anything stopping you from writing a book, if that is what you want. You can literally write on pen and paper, pencil and paper. My cousin, Eli Gardner, who's been on author chats before, she literally handwrites all of her books and then transposes them onto the computer. Well, I don't have a computer. There's literally back to school sales at Walmart right now. You can get a notebook for $1. You can get pencils for $1. You can start working on your book right now. That excuse doesn't apply. Well, I don't have the software. Again, handwriting. Well, I don't have hands. I lost them in an accident. You can literally transpose through a microphone. Like there's all the excuses in the world you can come up with, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be like, how committed are you to this? How focused are you on this? How much are you going to do this? There's no perfect time. You got to do it. Stop holding yourself back. All right, you guys, that's all I got for you guys. Golem Master Book 2, 41,000 words. We're plugging along. I'm going to get off this stream so I can go back and keep writing some more because I love this world. I love the story. Golem Master trading card game is in the works. I am slowly developing it with your guys' help as we talk about, like, you know, what would be cool things, like Brandon coming into the chat, giving me some good ideas. So will this happen? Eventually, maybe, if we keep working on it small steps at a time. It's not going to happen overnight, but you know what? Eventually, it might happen. We could actually make it happen. That'd be pretty cool. So, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope this was motivating. I hope this was encouraging for you guys to stay committed to that thing that you want to do, to stay committed to the world you want to build. It's been so good to see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, for all your encouragement, all your support. Golem Master Book 2 is up on the Patreon. You can read all of Book 1 and Book 2, along with all of my other creative works. So thanks, you guys. Thanks for all your support to the Dying Breed community. I love you guys. I wish you all the best. For everyone who's come into the chat, like Rachel, awesome. Keep it up. See, that's for you guys too. That's not just for me. R.A. Cooper giving you the shout out to all of you guys. She's saying to all of you guys, keep it up. So love you guys. Love your positive energy. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win. I won't stop till the end, no.